The key for any performer at the very highest level, whether it be in business or sport, is to manage our emotions. And one of the best ways to manage our emotions is through focusing on the process. We have an outcome and we have a process. An example is, the outcome could be winning a match, a football match, winning a football tournament, winning the World Cup final, qualifying for a tournament. It could be achieving a business deal, delivering a presentation, being successful in an interview. Okay, now if we focus purely on the outcome, we can become overwhelmed and put ourselves under a significant amount of pressure. And that pressure that we place upon ourselves can work to a negative effect. It's great having a goal, it's great having an outcome. For example, you might be thinking, okay, I want to achieve that business deal, I want to go on and win that tournament. Yet, if we focus purely on that outcome, then we're not focusing on the execution, which is necessary to achieve the goal. So we need to focus on the process. And one of the best ways to focus on the process is to understand your role. Your role in the sporting environment, your role in the team, your role as an individual, your role in business, your role in any given situation. Skill, technique are key in sport. Being able to execute a skill. For example, a penalty shootout. For a professional footballer to place a ball 12 yards away from a goal and strike, a success rate would probably be 99 times out of 100. Yet, in a game under certain amounts of pressure, we see footballers miss. So for example, on a training ground, a player could probably put the ball down and score 99 times out of 100. Yet, in an environment where they place themselves under pressure, particularly if there's a big outcome in mind, we've seen performers revert back to a stage in their physiological capability that they were at a beginner's phase. It's been psychologically proven that players can go to a beginner's phase if they become overwhelmed under huge amounts of pressure. Now, the biggest pressure that anyone can put on you is yourself. Okay, now the key is focusing on the process. Know your role within your team. Know your role as an individual. Execute your skill. For example, in sport, it could be a penalty. In business, it could be a presentation. Be effective in your technique. In sport, it could be taking a penalty, a free kick. In business, it could be delivering a key component of your presentation to achieve that business deal. So focusing on the process and key is key. Now, what's important to take notes, when we focus on the process, we must concentrate. Concentration is key. Focusing on the task in hand. In sport, you've got several situations where the ball goes out of play, for example, and there's a break in the play. What goes in our mind in that break of play is key, because we need to switch back on. So for example, in the game of football, the ball goes out for a throw-in and we switch off momentarily, and then the ball gets thrown back in, and that's when we're at our most vulnerable. You'll see in football, for example, a lot of teams will score off a counter-attack. So one team will be in a very strong position, for example a corner, and then the other team gets the ball, counters and scores 10 seconds later down the other side of the pitch. Because at that moment we're switching off, we're not concentrating, we're not going back into shape. And the same applies for business. It's about concentrating. Where it's at that moment, for example in the presentation or business deal, where we can just switch off momentarily and then we completely mess things up. So we need to keep focusing on the process and concentrating. And one of the things about concentration is we cannot not concentrate. We are always concentrating. One of the biggest myths is that we have limited concentration span. We can concentrate on certain things at any given period of time for limited time, depending on an individual, yet we cannot not concentrate. The only time you won't be concentrating is when you're 6 foot under. You will always be concentrating as long as you're alive, but it depends on what you choose to concentrate in that given period of time. So in sport, for example, we take the football analogy, the ball goes out for a throw-in, it gets thrown back in. If we're still switched off and we're still thinking it was our throw, the referee made a mistake, I really want to win this tournament, we're not playing as well as we should be, I just missed that goal, then we're not where we should be. And the same applies in business. We're thinking, okay, we're about to close a deal, and we're focusing predominantly on the actual deal itself and what the deal will bring for you, then we're not focusing on where we should be. And by doing that, it can make our chances of succeeding significantly less. So concentration is key, and remember that concentration, we cannot not concentrate. We're all concentrating at every moment of every day. It just depends on what we concentrate on that given period of time, which is key. Okay. Thank you.